Hi guys, this is Miss Carvalho, and today we're going to start a new topic, functions. So to talk about functions, we first have to review everything you've learned about the coordinate plane. So on your notes, there's a few words that are missing. The coordinate plane is formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line and a vertical number line, one that goes up and one that goes down, and we use it for graphing. The x-axis is the horizontal number line, like the horizon, so it goes left to right. And the y-axis is the vertical number line. The up and down number line. And the origin is 0, 0, the point at which the two number lines cross right in the middle. The quadrants, there are 4 of them, are created when the x and y axis cross. So see what you can do. Pause the video here and see if you can remember all of those points, all of those parts that are up there to label the coordinate plane from last year. All right, guys, so how'd you do? What do you remember? This is quadrant 1, and they're written in Roman numerals, and then 2, 3, and 4. So what I used to teach is that it makes a big letter C, like when you make the letter C, you always start here, and then you move this way, and that's how the 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of follows. The x-axis is the horizontal, and the y-axis is the vertical, and our origin is right here at 0, 0. All right, an ordered pair is a pair of numbers written in the XY form with those parentheses outside. That's what that looks like, the ordered pair. And we plot these points on a coordinate plane. So the x-coordinate is also called the x-axis or the input, and the y-coordinate or the y-axis is the output. All right, this page 2, has a little bit more work for you to do. Still all review, so work as fast as you can. We can do one section at a time and pause as you work to see if your answers are right, but a lot of this is review stuff, so pause here and then come back and see how well you do. All right, guys, go ahead and check your answers on this first part. So here's point A, 5, negative 3. So you're going to start at the origin and move 5 units right and 3 units down. There's A. And then for B, you're going to start at the origin and move 0 units right or left and 4 units up, and there's B. So A is in quadrant 4 and B is on the y-axis. All right, see how you can do in this middle part? Pause here and check your answers. All right, how do we do in this middle part? So check each location. So quadrant 2, quadrant 4, 3. So check your locations and check all your points. Because if you don't know how to plot these points correctly, this whole unit is going to be pretty hard, this whole topic. So in order to understand functions, make sure you feel good about how you plot these. Pause it if you need to check, and then we're going to go down and do that bottom part. Okay, so try this part down here, identify the ordered pair, and then you're going to put the location for each one. Pause and see how you can do. All right, guys, check your answers for all of the ordered pairs and the location that they're in. You do have to have the parentheses and you do have to have the negatives where they are. So make sure all of these are good. And if you have questions, if you're getting some wrong and you want to ask, please make sure you ask one of your teachers. All right, I'm going to go on to the third page. So pause the video here if you still need to check the rest of your answers to make sure everything is good. All right. So your third page gets in a little bit closer to functions, which is the new topic that we're learning about this year. So a relation is just any set of ordered pairs. Remember that these are the ordered pairs. And we can take these set of ordered pairs and graph them on the coordinate plane. So on these 4 problems, go ahead and graph those points on the coordinate plane, and then on the bottom 2, you're going to list the ordered pairs. All right, guys, how'd you do on here? So we plotted these 4 points and plotted these 4. Make sure you're in the right place for all of them. And then here we listed the points. -4, 0, that's a 4. -1, -2, 0, 3, 2, 4, 4, -1. These are the points for these. Make sure all your points are good. So a function is a special type of relationship and we write it as an equation or a rule that takes an input x and generates an output y. So you've seen like the function machines in elementary school, a number goes in, something happens to it, and a different number comes out. The x value is called the independent variable. We're going to talk about that a lot when we get to some real problems. And then the y is the dependent variable, just like you're learning in science. The last page of your notes is some practice using the equation or the function and using an XY table to put the points in and plug them in to complete this table. So we're going to plug in these numbers where the X is, do the math, and figure out what our Y is. So for example, 0 minus 5. So instead of putting an X here, this is like substitution from our last couple units, 0 minus 5, which equals -5 on your calculator. And that gives us our new coordinate, our new ordered pair, 0, -5. Then we're going to put a 1 in instead of the X. So we're just substituting, we're doing the math in this middle part, and then it gives us the Y coordinate based on that equation. 1 minus 5 is -4. And then that gives us the new ordered pair, 1, -4. So where am I getting that 1 from? Right here, the X. Now I'm going to put in a 2 for the X, and 2 minus 5 is -3. And that makes my new ordered pair over here. 2 is the X, and -3 is the Y. Last one, 3 minus 5, which is -2. So now this ordered pair is 3 for the X and -2 for my Y. All right, come on down and try number 7. Pause here and then check your answers in a second. Okay guys, how'd you do on number 7? This function or equation was y equals 3 times x. So whatever the x was, I multiplied that by the 3. So 3 times -3 is -9. 3 times -1 is -3. And then I get my point over here from the x, -3, and my y, -9. So it's just substitution. Put the number here in the x, do the math, and figure out how you're getting that y. All right, try number 9. So we're going to do the odd ones together. You'll do the even ones with your partner and the teacher. So go ahead and try number 9 below this one. Pause here and see what you get. Guys, this was a real tricky one because there's a negative sign in front of the x. So remember when you're substituting, if there's a negative sign and you put in a negative number like this -4, that negative and a negative actually make that a +4, plus +4. So really we're doing 4 plus 2, which is 6. So our first ordered pair is -4, 6. Then we got a -1. The negative there, and then the -1 for the x makes that a +1, and 1 plus 2 is 3. And our second order pair is -1, 3. This doesn't have a -2, a negative in front of the 2. So that negative there is a negative, and then the 2, so -2 plus 2 is 0, 2 comma 0. And then our last point for the 5 is -5 plus 2, which is -3, 5 comma -3. All right, the number 11, this last one you're going to practice, is tricky too because of the fraction. So there's a few ways to do this. You're multiplying the 1/2 times -2, like as a fraction, 2 fractions, put that over a 1. Or 1/2 is a terminating decimal. So I don't mind if you turn it into 0.5 on your calculator and multiply 0.5 times -2. I'll take either way because it's a terminating decimal, like this fraction ends. All right, so try to fill in this XY table and pause here and see how you do. Okay, guys, so this was a tricky one with the fractions. So 1/2 times a -2, so a half of -2 is -1, and -1 plus 5 is 4. So how did I do that? 0.5 times -2 on your calculator is -1, and then -1 plus 5 is 4. So that was one way. Or you're looking at it as two fractions, 1/2 times -2/1. And then that gets you a -2/2, which is a -1. Same way, -1 plus 5 is 4. So that first order pair is -2, 4. Now I'm doing 1/2 of 0, which is 0, and 0 plus 5 is 5, 0, 5. The third point, the third x, is a 2. 1/2 of 2 is 1. Remember, do 0.5 times 2 on your calculator, or again, you're doing 1/2 times 2. 1/2 times 2, which is 1 times 2 over 1 times 2, which is 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. And 2, 6 is that third point. The last one is 1/2 of 4, which is 2, and 2 plus 5 is 7. All right, you're going to try the even numbered problems on this page, but you're going to check your answers with your teacher. So try the first one, try number 2, see how you do either with a partner or on your own, see how you do filling in number 6, and then check your answer with your teacher. I hope this helped, guys. Functions can be hard, but we have a couple weeks to figure out how they work on the coordinate plane. Thanks, guys.